So I'm gonna do a spoiler filled review of Star Wars The Force Awakens, and these are my thoughts on the movie. We can go through how the movie is throughout, and what I thought was good with it and what I thought was bad with it. So the beginning, it starts off pretty much the same as A New Hope. Pretty much the whole movie follows the recipe of A New Hope, where the First Order um, comes after Poe Dameron, who's down at a planet, uh, and Luke is missing, and he's the best pilot among the Resistance, aka the Rebels, and he gets a map that leads to Luke. What happens is, just like Leia, he gets captured and BB-8 gets the plans and goes off and finds Rey, and she takes him from getting captured from this scavenger, and she's there trying to survive by salvaging and trying to trade things to survive on Jakku, while Poe Dameron is getting tortured by Kylo Ren. He gets the information that the droid has the information to Luke, and what happens is, because of the attack on when they come down and find out and capture Poe, that the plans were with this raid. They go, um, Poe and Finn, who is a stormtrooper, who finds out he doesn't want to be a stormtrooper after the massacre on in the beginning. They both escape back to Jakku, and Finn and Poe get separated, and then Finn finds Rey. Finn doesn't really have a name and shows that he gets taken away from his family, and only his, I believe his name was FN 2187, I think it was. And they together have to form a team because the First Order is after them, and just like Luke with R2D2, and they're going after everyone on the planet, or at least in a small village, where Simon Pegg has a cameo or very small role if you listen close enough, and they escape with the Millennium Falcon, where Rey shows some extraordinary skills with the ship, even though having never flown before. And this leads me to believe, just like Anakin, who was a really good pilot and was really good with fixing things, just like Luke, who also is a good pilot, that Rey is the daughter of Luke. But I might be mistaken, but it hints so much that it has to be the granddaughter of Anakin and the daughter of Luke. They escape, and then they find Han, who is again in deep trouble. And this is basically where the whole adventure takes off, where they go and visit Maz Kanata, and this is where Rey finds out she's also force sensitive and gets a vision. And this is where I speculate that Rey is or was on a training or witnessed something, and Luke wiped her mind and left her on Jakku, just like Obi-Wan did with him, with Luke. So she doesn't want to take the lightsaber, and Finn takes it, and it turns out he is not force sensitive, but he takes the lightsaber. The first Oro comes and wants to take them down, and Finn shows that he's resourceful, fighting off stormtroopers with the lightsaber. And in the end, though, when Rey fights Kylo Ren with just a blaster, he's way more powerful than her, and he has some new powers that have not been seen before, like freezing a shot that from Poe Dameron in the village on Jakku, and and also freezing Rey in her place when she wanted to shoot him. And Kylo Ren was pretty good at fighting off the shots from Rey. He made it seem as it was easy. And we also find out that Kylo Ren is the son of Han and Leia, and captures Rey, and goes off after the Resistance kind of Poe saves them. You see how awesome of a pilot he is. And what I also thought then afterwards was when they capture Rey, they turn up the Star Killer, which is a new kind of Death Star, again following the recipe. After being in the cantina, which with Maz Kanata, they blow up a solar system, just like Alderaan in Episode 4. But they did not address why those planets were important. They mentioned the Republic, but they did not mention why what was happening wasn't important. I mean, how big was the Republic, and things like that. And this is when they form a rescue mission, just like Episode 4, to save Leia. And Kylo Ren tries to torture her, just like with Poe Dameron, but resists, and manages to kind of turn the tables, which I kind of accept, because she kind of awoke her powers during her interaction with the lightsaber from Anakin. And he then kind of freaks out, and you also see him kind of obsessed with the Darth Vader, and trying to mimic how Darth Vader did think that he wants to finish what he started, like you've seen in the trailers. Han, Chewie, and Finn then go and find Rey, who uses her force powers to get out of her captivity by using the Jedi mind trick on a stormtrooper, which I don't quite get how she manages that. I mean, she fights off a few thugs on Jakku when they try to go for BB-8, and she can handle herself, but and we know she's force sensitive, but I don't know why and how she's able to use the Jedi mind trick without any training. And they all meet up, and Chewie and Han they plant some bombs, And while the battle of with Poe Dameron, they're trying to find out, or trying to bomb the Star Killer, aka or like the Death Star. And what happens then is that before the mission, Leia told him to get their son back, even though it seemed pretty obvious that Han didn't want to because he was lost to them. But that didn't stop him from trying, so they all go onto a bridge, and he sees his son and calls Ben. Ben Solo is his name, and talks to him and says that he's struggling between the light and the dark side. Kylo Ren says to his father, and feels the light calling to him, and they have an interaction. And like the decision Darth Vader had with his son, he chose the light side. It seems that Kylo Ren chose the dark side by killing his father right there and then in front of Chewbacca and Rey and Finn, which makes Chewbacca furious and takes a shot at Kylo Ren, which hits him, and then Chewbacca goes on a spree, killing everyone, and they get out of there. By that time, after they explode what the charges are, Poe goes and like Luke in the first movie, he shoots all the generators, or it's more reminiscent of 6, where they fly through and shoot the main reactor, and which makes the whole Starkiller unstable. This is where the encounter between Finn, Rey, and Kylo Ren with the battle in the forest. So first, Kylo Ren dispatches Rey pretty quickly, and Finn fights off Kylo Ren as long as he can, but gets destroyed after Kylo Ren starts to take things seriously, slicing up his back. I don't know if he he has to have prosthetics to fix his back or something, because that looked like a nasty hit. And he loses his lightsaber, and he wants to get his grandfather's grandfather's lightsaber, and tries to force pull it, and then it goes straight past him to Rey. And this is probably my main beef with the movie. Is Rey starts using the lightsaber as she's she's an expert. Now I get that she's force sensitive, but it took Luke 3 movies, and even Anakin had uh, had 3 movies to become really powerful. I mean, in the first movie he wasn't he had the powers to be a good pilot, but he he didn't have powers with the lightsaber, even though he was very powerful. And even the second one, he gets owned, even though he's a very experienced Padawan. And this is where they battle, and there comes a point where Kylo Ren is kind of dominating, uh, and I don't and they're at the edge of cliff. I would say the planet on that point is become unstable, and it goes apart, and Kylo Kylo Ren says to her, I can teach you the ways of the Force, and then she kind of quiets her mind and starts to own Kylo Ren like nothing. She doesn't slice off any hands or something, but he was also injured before this point, but he still should have been more powerful than Rey, in my opinion. I was always speculating before the movie that Luke would come and kind of save both of them, but that didn't happen. So it turns out Rey just slices half of his face and kind of injures him very badly, and then she has him beat, and the planet is unstable and they get separated. It was unclear if she was going to kill him or not, even though he just killed Han Solo. So that's where they go back, and here's another issue. Leia did feel that Han died, but when they came back, she didn't seem to mourn or feel the effects of him dying, and she didn't even go to Chewie. I don't know if it was cut out of the movie, but it felt really out of place that she didn't go over to Chewie and have some sort of interaction. Instead, she goes to Rey and wishes her or hugs her, and it kind of seems strange because Rey and Leia never had really a relationship before in the movie. So um, either she knows something about her that she's Luke's kid, or I don't know. It just seems very strange to me. And now, after all of this, Chewie, BB-8, Rey, they go on to find uh, Luke, because R2 comes back. He's kind of been in a low power state after Luke disappears, because it turns out Kylo Ren, I think he killed everyone, or he turned all of his Padawans into the Knights of Ren. It's kind of unclear. And R2 has the rest of the map, and BB-8 and R2 find out where he is, and then they travel. And the last scene is uh, Rey showing the lightsaber of Anakin, which he lost in Empire Strikes Back, where Vader or his father cut his hand off, and it probably was in some shaft which Maz cannot have found it in. Anyways, and Luke turns around and looks at her, and I don't know if he recognizes her or if he recognizes it as the lightsaber. But I speculate maybe he mind wiped her and had some sort of thing in there. Yeah. But I was it's a good movie, but it didn't quite do it all for me. It was too reminiscent of A New Hope, and I kind of get you had to keep get a new story going, but when you almost have plot for plot the same movie as A New Hope, uh, it didn't quite do it for me. I know a lot of people love the originals. I'm not gonna hate anyone for that, but hating on the prequels as well is kind of stupid of me. Feel it's kind of stupid because George Lucas made all of it, and making it seem that they're the worst movies ever is not correct in my opinion. At least I think they have some redeeming qualities. But anyways, my if I'm gonna rate it out of 10, I would probably rate it 7 out of 10, 7.5. It's a good movie, but has obvious flaws. It kind of depends on how the next movie is gonna pan out. how much it's gonna answer, because there's just too much unanswered, because her Ray and her progression just that was a big thing for me. She had just way too much progression in under an hour. She suddenly knew how to handle a lightsaber, and could use her Jedi mind trick on stormtroopers. Even though Kylo Ren was injured, I kind of get the argument. He still dispatched Finn pretty easily. So yeah, that's my those are my thoughts on the movie. If I would rank the movies after this one, I would rate Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, as my favorite. Then Return of the Jedi, Empire Strikes Back. Um, yeah, Clone Wars, Force Awakens, A New Hope, and then Episode 1. Probably in that order. Kind of switches uh, on what I think, but that's pretty much my rating. Um, Probably gonna get hate for this, but that's my opinion. Let me know what you if you watched the movie, what you think of it. Did you like it? Did you dislike it? Yeah. As always, thank you guys for watching, and see you guys next time. Bye.